Let's be honest, buying a heater is usually a grudge purchase. You aren't buying it because it's fun, you're buying it because you're freezing and you're tired of wearing 3 layers inside your own house. But once you start looking, you hit a wall of choices. The two heavyweights that always seem to confuse people are gas heaters and oil heaters. I've tested both extensively in drafty garages and insulated bedrooms, and I've learned that the better heater is entirely dependent on what you're trying to do. By the end of this, you won't just know the specs, you'll know exactly which one belongs in your home. Heating speed and intensity. This is usually the deciding factor for people who walk into a freezing cold room. If you want instant gratification, the gas heater is the undisputed king. It is not even close. The second that burner ignites, you feel the heat. It pushes out high BTUs, British thermal units, right from the jump. If you have a garage that is 20 degrees and you want to work in there now, a gas heater is the only tool for the job. It treats the air like an enemy it needs to conquer immediately. Oil heaters, on the other hand, require patience. They are slow, painfully slow if you were shivering. When you turn on an oil-filled radiator, you might sit there for 15 or 20 minutes wondering if it's even working. The oil has to absorb the heat before it can share it with you. But here is the trade-off. Stability. Once an oil heater reaches its operating temperature, it is a thermal battery. It radiates a consistent, steady warmth that doesn't fluctuate wildly. It doesn't blast you, it envelops you. And when you turn it off, it stays warm for another hour, slowly fading out. Gas heaters are on or off. Operating costs and efficiency. Let's talk about your wallet, because this is where the math gets tricky. Efficiency and cost are not the same thing. Technically, an electric oil heater is 100% efficient. Every watt of electricity you pull from the wall is turned into heat. There is no waste. But, and this is a huge but, electricity is expensive. In almost every region, the cost per unit of heat is higher for electricity than it is for natural gas. Running a 1,500-watt oil heater for 8 hours a day will show up noticeably on your electric bill at the end of the month. Gas heaters are slightly less efficient in scientific terms because some heat can be lost, especially if it's a vented unit, but the fuel itself is cheaper. Propane can fluctuate, but natural gas is historically incredibly cheap. You get way more bang for your buck. For the same amount of money, a gas heater will produce significantly more raw heat than an electric oil heater. If you are trying to heat a large, poorly insulated space like a basement or a shop, doing it with electricity is financial suicide. Gas is the brute force solution that costs less to run heavy-duty cycles. Safety and air quality. This is the category that should make you pause, especially if you have kids, pets, or a small apartment. Oil heaters are arguably the safest space heaters you can buy. There is no exposed heating element. The surface gets hot, sure, maybe enough to be uncomfortable if you touch it, but it's rarely hot enough to instantly sear skin or ignite fabric quickly. There are no fumes. They don't consume oxygen. You can put one in a baby's nursery, close the door, and sleep soundly knowing it's just a hot metal radiator. Gas heaters demand respect. You are bringing combustion indoors. Even the modern indoor-safe propane heaters with oxygen depletion sensors, ODS, carry risks. They consume oxygen to burn fuel. If you use them in a tiny, unventilated room, you are slowly suffocating the space. They also produce carbon monoxide, minute amounts usually, but if the unit malfunctions, it can be deadly. You absolutely need a carbon monoxide detector nearby if you run gas. Plus, there is the fire risk. You have a live flame or an incredibly hot ceramic face. Moisture and atmosphere. Here's a weird nuance that people rarely discuss: the texture of the air. Gas combustion produces water vapor as a byproduct. If you run a vent-free propane heater in a garage for 6 hours, you might notice the windows fogging up. In a really small space, it can make the air feel heavy or humid. On the flip side, if you are in a super dry climate, this might actually be a bonus, but usually excess moisture leads to mold or just a clammy feeling in the room. Oil heaters are convection heaters. They warm the air, which rises, cools, and falls. They tend to dry out the air slightly, much like a central furnace system. They don't add moisture, and they don't add smells. Gas heaters, no matter how clean burning, have a scent. It's that faint exhaust smell. Some people don't mind it. It smells like warmth to them. Others find it headache-inducing. If you are sensitive to smells or air quality changes, the oil heater is the sterile, clean option. It preserves the atmosphere of the room. It just makes it hotter. Portability and convenience. When we talk about moving these things around, you have to look at the tether. An oil heater is tethered by a power cord. You can roll it anywhere in the house as long as there's an outlet nearby. They're heavy. Oil is dense, but they almost always come on caster wheels. You can slide it from the living room to the bedroom with one hand. They are plug and play in the truest sense. No setup, no assembly, just plug it in. Gas heaters are tethered by their fuel source. If it's a natural gas unit, it's not portable at all. It's hard piped into your wall. If it's propane, you're lugging around a 20-pound steel tank. Portable propane heaters, like the cabinet style, usually hide the tank inside, making the whole unit weigh 40 or 50 pounds. They often have wheels, but they're bulky. And then there's the refill anxiety. With an oil heater, as long as the grid is up, you have heat. Maintenance and longevity. This is where the simplicity of the oil heater shines again. There is virtually zero maintenance. The oil never degrades, never needs topping off, and never needs changing. It is a sealed unit for life. The only moving part is the thermostat dial. You can buy an oil heater today, and barring an electrical failure, it will work exactly the same way in 15 years. I have seen oil heaters from the 1980s that are still kicking out heat. Gas heaters require stewardship. You have jets that can clog, thermocouples that can fail, and hoses that can crack over time. If you use a gas heater in a dusty workshop, you need to blow it out with compressed air regularly, or the dust will burn and smell terrible. You have to check connections for leaks with soapy water, a safety ritual you cannot skip. Best use cases. So where do they belong? The gas heater is the champion of the rough spaces. Put it in the garage where you fix cars. Put it in the unfinished basement. Take it to the hunting cabin where there is no electricity. Put it on the patio. It is for spaces that are drafty, poorly insulated, and need a massive injection of heat quickly. It is for the active user who is awake, moving around, and can monitor the equipment. The oil heater is the champion of the living spaces. It belongs in the nursery. It belongs in your home office. It is perfect for a bedroom where you want to maintain a steady 68 degrees all night long without hearing a fan or worrying about carbon monoxide. It is for insulated rooms where you want to raise the ambient temperature gently and keep it there. It is a set-it-and-forget-it device for comfort, not survival.